Ooh, Scorpio, you gonna be in your feelings. You gonna be in your feelings. Welcome to Cancer season, the season of I feel, a fellow water season, a fellow water sign. Happy summer solstice. But, bruh, not only are you in your feelings, but these feelings that are coming in are helping you remember who the fuck you are. They're helping to remind you of how dope you are. They're helping to remind you and re-emerge these like really cool aspects of yourself. And I just feel like you're going to feel about it, but it's going to help you progress forward. So it's fucking worth it. Grab your shit. We got stuff to talk about. What's up, Scorpio, Sun, Moon, and Rising? It's your girl Jay, the High Priestess, back at it again with the general tarot reading for Scorpio, Sun, Moon, and Rising for Cancer season 2025. Welcome to summer, dear sweet God. Yes, hydrate, light it if you need it. I'm ready to dive in, so let's clear out any funky ass energy. Welcoming in my benevolent ancestors, Mother God, Father God, Mother Earth, thanking you for the most useful, helpful, and divinely aligned messages for Scorpio, Sun, Moon, and Rising for Cancer season 2025. So on the bottom of the deck, we have the Queen of Cups. And I just feel like you are just becoming more sensitive, more tuned, more intuitive, more aware, or you're finally accessing those gifts or getting to another level in those gifts, becoming more masterful in those gifts, leaning more into creativity, emotion, love. There's like a sense of peace, I feel like, that's coming in. If it's not you, there may be somebody else that has Cancer, Pisces, or Scorpio placements in their big three. And I feel like in some sort of way, you're dipping your toe back in. I don't know what that is. It's going to be different for all of you. This is a general reading, so eat the meat, leave the bones. But there's something like you're dipping your toe back in. It may be love, romance, art. That person with Cancer, Pisces, or Scorpio placements. Maybe you dip in something else. Anyway, but there's something here about like getting back to it, getting back in the flow, getting into this um, place of fluidity internally. And I'm excited about it. I'm here for it. I feel like it's really good for you. So, or this person is really good for you. There could be just someone who is very self aware, very spiritual, very creative, that's like helping you get back to those aspects of yourself, or you're reconnecting with those aspects of yourself by way of another person or other people. So, first card out, first thing to be clarified on the selenite throne is the moon, baby. Like I said, somebody with Pisces or Cancer placements coming in, I feel like the new moon in Cancer is going to be very important for you. You need to make sure that you have intentions set for this new moon in Cancer, Scorpio, Sun, Moon, and Rising. There may be somebody with Pisces placements that's helping you along on this like part of your journey or this part of your spiritual path. I feel like with the moon coming out, intuition on 10, creativity on 10. This is something here about the subconscious. All when it comes to the moon, all things the subconscious are happening. I feel like with the Queen of Cups and the moon coming out, you are getting more masterful in understanding why you do what it is that you do when you know what you know, why you are the way that you are, why you allow what you allow. There could be some like bonding or closeness that's happening with your mother or with a Pisces or Cancer person. I feel like you dreamed about getting to this part of your journey. You dreamed about the opportunity that's being presented. Some of you, this is a sign though to slow the fuck down. You know who you are. Some of you are in this position where it's like things are not as they seem, especially if it involves somebody with Pisces placements. Things are not as they seem. Maybe Cancer too. Or your mother. There could just be some, or a mother figure, someone that reminds you of your mother. It's just like things are not as they seem. There's a veil there. I feel like there's lots of there could be something that's like testing your intuition, or is a test of your intuition. Are you going to stick to your dreams? Are you going to follow your dreams? Are you going to pass the test when it comes to this like spiritual rite of passage in some sort of way? I feel like you're like, some of you are halfway there. Some of you are about to cross the finish line. Some of you are so much closer than you realize. But once you get there, you're going to end up moving the goalpost because Mars is now in Virgo. Be sure to check out that Cancer season astrology video. It has all the important astrological transit and aspect dates that you need to be aware of. But I will put you on game. As of June 17th, Mars, one of your ruling planets, went into Virgo, and your other ruling planet, Pluto, is still retrograde in Aquarius. Excuse me. And so, with like Godzilla asleep, Pluto, or Godzilla back in the ocean, um, and Mars in Virgo, I feel like there's something about like championing a cause, or like being driven to support the disenfranchised in some sort of way. Um, a push towards appreciating the divine feminine inside of you and externally. It's interesting because Virgo is one of the signs of the mother, and a mother card coming out. And so I do feel like there could just be a closeness or an aha moment coming in with regard to your mother, or the way that you are mothered, or how you are mothering. Um, I feel like it's also like there's something about dipping your toe in, and it's time to come out of your shell. It's time to come out. You are this, as a Scorpio, you're represented by the scorpion, which has an exoskeleton just like Cancer does, the crab. And so there's something there about tending to your shell. Are you in your shell too much? Do you need to shed it? Do you need to come out of it? Do you need to redecorate that bitch? You know, there's something there around coming out of your shell, renewing it, restoring it, dipping your toes in the water, like exposing. There's something there about an emotional exposure, a spiritual exposure. It may involve somebody with Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio, Taurus, Virgo, or Capricorn placements, especially if they have like an Earth Venus. But I feel like there's this like new emotional and spiritual like mountaintop or height that you are aspiring to or getting closer to. Whatever it is you're dreaming for, pushing for, craving, wanting, you can't see the light at the end of the tunnel, but you keep going. And that's what's getting you closer. And I feel like the light at the end of the light at the end of the tunnel just slaps you in the face. Yes, the Queen of Wands coming out next. Things are not as they seem because you're being given the vision in a different way. Some of you, because of this spiritual focus that you have, because I'm telling you that things are not as they seem and you need to slow down, I feel like you are being inspired. This doesn't feel like you, actually. This Queen of Wands, some of you are being led to becoming more like the Queen of Wands, and with Mars and Virgo, it's going to help you be more, upbeat and inspirational and compassionate and popular and vocal and putting yourself out there. But I actually feel like this is someone else. With the Queen of Wands coming out, I feel like there's somebody with Aries, Leo, or Sagittarius placements that's playing a big role in your life, or things are not as they seem with them, or you're not sure about this person, or there's still like mystery around this person. Um, it may be somebody very, not only just a fire sign, but I feel like it's someone that's has a vision, has a mission, has a goal. Someone that's very spirited, someone that's popular, someone that gets a lot of attention. Someone that also is very, comfortable with their sexual energy. I feel like they express and they wield their physical, spiritual, and sexual energy very outwardly. Like this person feels extroverted in a way, or you're realizing that they're extroverted. They may have a very spiritual side to them. I feel like this person is very instinct based. So this is coming into your life, and I feel like the Queen of Wands is looking away from the moon. So I feel like this fire sign doesn't have all this curiosity, or isn't focused on all the mystery or the paranoia or whatever that you may be experiencing. I feel like they're looking onward. Center of the reading being the Five of Pentacles reversed. Interesting. You or this fiery person, doesn't have to be a fire sign, but this fiery person, this popular person, or this very entrepreneurial or visionary person is very much so looking at healing abandonment wounds. I feel like they're not focused on the mystery, they're focused on like integrating some kind of lesson. You may be needing to focus on integrating some kind of lesson. Some of you with the Five of Pentacles reversed, maybe some of you are thinking about quitting a job, or you lost a job. Maybe you lost a job in the last few months. Maybe you lost it in the last few years and you haven't figured out what you wanted to do next. And it's just been little job after little job. But I feel like there's some of you have the opportunity to really get the vision, get very clear about, some of you need a reading. Not necessarily with me even, but I feel like some of you need a reading. Some of you need some sort of spiritual guidance. If you're not going to slow down and reach for it yourself, acquire it by way of someone else. I feel like your vision or your goal right now, if let's say that this Queen of Wands isn't somebody else, there's something about you finding a balance between your fire and your water, your emotions and your spirit. That's Cancer season. There's something here about really putting some physical, spiritual, and even sexual energy into figuring out what it is that you want to do with your life, figuring out what it is you want to do when it comes to making money, or how you can contribute, how you can give back. Some of you may be volunteering, or you may get behind a cause. Some of you are still working on religious deconstruction. Some of us are in this place of like falling in love with our otherness. Some of you are realizing that you are other, or maybe you have been othered in some sort of way, or denied help, or you feel on the outside side of help, or you may identify as the black sheep. Some of you are focusing that, like there's momentum around like getting out of that place of um, negatively seeing yourself as othered, versus this, I just saw 1101, versus this divine wishful reset around loving how different you are, loving how othered you are, and being around other people who have been othered. You may get exposed to some people who have less than you, or you're working to help people. I feel like for those of you who are unemployed, you need to be, those of you who are unemployed, or those of you who are trying to figure out what particular brand of service you want to get, like what kind of business you want to start, I feel like you would do really well with like working, volunteering, working with the homeless, working or nursing, being at a hospital, working with a church, or people who are recovering or healing from some kind of like religious disenfranchisement. Hydrate. Final next card. Ooh, the Emperor reversed. There could just be some, let me just look at all of them. And then the Six of Cups. So we have the Moon and the Queen of Wands. Center of the reading is the Five of Pentacles. Then we have the Emperor reversed. That's interesting. And then the Six of Cups. Okay, so the Five of Pentacles reverse being at the center of the reading, I just feel like, okay, some of you, with the Five of Pentacles reverse and the Emperor, some of you are being given the physical and spiritual energy that you need by way of the divine. You were given this energy, this push. You're also being exposed to the right people who are going to help you break trauma bonds, who are going to help you heal some of these like father wounds, these trauma based experiences with men, or with someone with Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn, Aries, or Scorpio placements. I feel like there are some childhood wounds that are coming up to the surface with the moon coming out. There may just be old pain that's resurfacing that is blocking your drive, your motivation. And I feel like Mars in Virgo is really, I mean, the Emperor, this is an Earth card. Virgo is an Earth sign. This is Mars. So Mars in Virgo, it's really like what Virgo does to Mars, not what Mars does in Virgo. That's interesting. That's how that feels. There's something about, Virgo is a sign of I analyze. Virgo is work and in service. And there's something, um, some of you may be feeling unmotivated in a weird way. Some of you have been like this is the time. Now is the time I should be doing this. I should strike while the iron is hot. I should, pursue this, or I should, whatever. I should, like, you're thinking about all the things, or you're maybe giving yourself like guilt about what you should get done. But some of you need rest. Some of you are tired. Some of you are angry. Some of you have like these like old beliefs that need and old behaviors that need to be purged, especially when it comes to issues around self-worth, superiority complexes, which are actually inferiority complexes. It's all an inferiority complex. I feel like there's something there around anger, rage, or some of you are hearing back from a boss, an old boss, an old work husband, an old father figure from a job, an old coach, an old mentor. There could just be something there around like hearing. I don't. This is so weird. It's like some of you hear somebody that you had on a pedestal, like fell from grace or did something out of like a crime of passion or rage. You may be encountering your own rage, anger, disorganization. I feel like Scorpio, Sun, Moon, and Rising, you're in a place where you're going to be exposed to your internal chaos, your particular brand of chaos. And where it started is like there's some kind of father wound. It's interesting because where Cancer is a sign of the mother, Virgo is one of the signs of the mother, but a father wound is actually coming up for you. Well, the moon is out, so there's a mother and a father. Like there's something here with your parents where you learned certain things from. Some of you may have been blaming your lack of drive or motivation or blaming your lack of drive or motivation on the fact that your parents didn't provide you a good example or didn't provide you discipline or the structure that you needed in order to like discipline yourself, and now you're having to teach yourself discipline. With the Six of Cups on the bottom of the deck, I mean, as the final card, I feel like this is a season really where you're being asked to experience harmony in your emotions. So that's why this shit needs to come up at the center of Cancer season. I am excited to clarify this over on Patreon. This looks like tea. Me and the Ethical Cult will be clarifying all of these cards over on Patreon, patreon.com/JustJEverything. There's a there's a cool thing. We're forming a cool thing. I like to call it the Ethical Cult. But there's a tier for daily readings. There's all kinds of astrological content. The link's in the description box below. Check it out. But yeah, this is going to be interesting to clarify because some of you are encountering a soulmate, but I don't necessarily think this person is permanent. At least not right now. That's not how that feels, or maybe that's what's unclear with the moon out. Maybe some of you are wondering, is this person here to stay? Is this some shit for the long haul? I feel like someone is coming into your life. They may have Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn, Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio, or Aries placements. That's, I feel like, is teaching you how to receive, or they're teaching you to experience harmony in your body when it comes to receptivity. You want to give to this person, they enjoy receiving, and I feel like they're going to teach you how to receive in turn. I feel like there's a lot of childhood wounds and healing that are coming up in Cancer season. Some of you, there could be bouts of nostalgia, like just childhood stuff, songs, music, friends, people that you run into, old coaches that you hear about, or things of that nature. Old people of authority that you end up hearing about, and I feel like it sends you back down memory lane. Interesting that I keep stuttering. There could just be something here about like you having a hard time expressing yourself, a hard time like articulating what it is that you're experiencing, possibly. But with the Six of Cups, I feel like there's this new foundation in the realm of your emotions. And by way of like new love or new connection or new friendship, I just feel like you are learning how worthy you are of receiving all the goodness and sweetness that's coming in. And whatever comes up, I feel like you have support, especially if this is a childhood wound or a worthiness wound or a religious deconstruction kind of wound or a father wound or somebody being angry or mean, especially if they were a man to you. There's support around you healing these major wounds that are coming up or need to be evaluated or have been hanging out for too long. in your soul, in your psyche, in your energetic body. And I feel like a lot of this needs to be expressed by way of anger, by way of movement. Like you need to like get it out of your body, get it out of your cells. You need to sweat this out. Break some shit. Not valuable shit, but like, go to a rage room. And I feel like these worthiness wounds have translated to how much money you are making for too long. Like there's some sort of a wound that has been blocking your entrepreneurial ideas from coming in, blocking you from getting your entrepreneurial pursuits to the next level for some of you. Some of you, there's an emotional wound, a worthiness wound that has bound up all this anger and rage, and now it comes up. And there's an emotional wound or a parental or a childhood wounds that keep you in this place of chaos where you're just always trying to make order of the chaos. You're trying to just like catch up, and I feel like you finally encounter the block. You encounter that like thing, that wound that needs to be stitched up. It's infected. It's there's pus everywhere. You got to clean this shit up. And I feel like you have a lot of support around you to do that. And you need to let yourself ask for help. You need to be open and receptive to the people who are showing up to like carry you or nurture you through this. It's going to lead you to a different level of mastery, and it's worth exploring. I'm ready to clarify these cards, so I'll see you over on Patreon, patreon.com/JustJEverything. Come on, let's get into it. For the full version of the video, go to Patreon.